Hey there YouTube, this is Mr.Lubufu and welcome back to another episode of MTG Mastery. This time we're covering Urza's Saga block cards, or rather the pack analysis, where we're going to go over every card in the set that's worth $5 or more, along with covering expected value of the full pack and everything else. Anyway, let's go ahead and hop right in. Urza's Saga as a set is known to have some of the most broken cards ever printed, which is why the packs are worth so much. Let's go ahead and cover them. The top card to open is Gaia's Cradle, which, with the recent changes to the Legendary rule, has jumped its price up to well over $100. It's borderline $200 now, I believe, at the time of recording. It is a legacy staple, it probably is one of the better cards in the elf deck, or in elves, and it is insane. It's also cube staple, EDH staple, etc., etc. Very powerful card. Next up, we have two cards I'm going to mention together. Both Show and Tell and Sneak Attack were printed in this set. Both legacy staples for the Sneak and Show deck, rightfully named after both of them. Both very powerful effects and commanding a very large price tag because of it. Next we have Sarah's Sanctum, less so than the first three already listed, but still a very expensive one, adding white for each enchantment you control. Has seen lots of EDH play, some legacy play, and some fun leyline decks, but it's still a very powerful effect. Next we have Tolarian Academy, a card that was way too powerful. There were decks that would play Tolarian Academy because of the old Legendary rule, so that way the other decks couldn't play Tolarian Academy. Adding blue to your mana pool for each artifact turns out to be way too good. This card is insane. It is banned in Legacy, and rightfully so. Next we have Time Spiral, another Legacy staple for High Tide. Gamble, which has seen some play in lands and some other Life from the Loam decks in Legacy. Gilded Drake is an EDH staple. Yawgmoth's Will is banned in Legacy, but is a vintage staple. Exploration sees play in Legacy for in lands decks. Argothian Enchantress in Legacy for Enchantress decks. Phyrexian Tower is an EDH staple. Goblin Lackey used to see extended Legacy play because of goblins, but it's still, if you want to build tribal goblins, this is arguably one of the best ever. Energy Field is a legacy sideboard card. Sees play in all sorts of decks. Greater Good doesn't see as much play nowadays, but is still an EDH powerhouse. Smokestack for vintage. Back to Basics is a sideboard legacy card. Contamination is a fun little card, EDH staple. And Karn Silver Golem for the same reasons. As you see, lots of high-value cards in Urza Saga. It makes the overall pack value higher than it really should. Anyway, let's go ahead and cover Urza's Legacy. Now, Urza's Legacy has far fewer insane cards. The highest, or the most expensive card in the set is Grim Monolith. Sees lots of EDH play and some scattered play in shops decks in Vintage. Next, we have Defense of the Heart, an EDH staple. Palinchron, which used to be a combo for Storm. No Mercy, which EDH staple. Defense Grid was reprinted in a core set, so it is a modern legal sideboard card. Goblin Welder used to be an insane powerhouse, now sees some play in some decks. And Memory Jar, which is famous for being the card that was banned fastest in Standard, being banned before it was officially released. That's right. Before the set was released, if you opened a memory, they released an announcement. If you opened a Memory Jar, you could send the pack back and get a new pack that didn't have Memory Jar in it. The card is that good. And lastly, we move our way to Urza's Destiny, where the most expensive card is Metalworker. It sees some legacy play for artifact cards and spiked in price lately because of its unbanning in EDH. Next is Raphelos Llanowar Emissary, EDH staple and very powerful in Cube. Academy Rector is the next on the list, EDH staple. Replenish for the same reason. Treachery, arguably one of the most powerful cards in normal cube, unpowered, because being able to mind control for free is a powerful effect. Yabamaya Hollow is next. Urza's Incubator, Elvish Piper, and Thran Dynamo finish off the list. Now, if we look at the expected value of the entire sets, we have, and this is, of course, this expected value calculation was done calculating every single card that was above $1, multiplying by its likelihood. So commons and uncommons have a greater effect on the expected value than rares, and then multiplying it by its value, and then taking the sum. So for Urza's Saga, we have $5.68 as the calculated value. Urza's Legacy at $3.07. And Urza's Destiny at $3.62. Now, at this point, you can sort of see, comparatively, compared to some of the other sets that we've covered, it's a pretty high value, which is why packs of Urza Saga have been going for about $35, $40. They are not cheap. Urza's Legacy is going for about $20. So this set is very expensive, mostly influenced by some of the bigger name cards, you know, Gaia's Cradle, Show and Tell, and Sneak Attack. Anyway, that's going to end this episode of MTG Mastery. I hope you guys enjoyed this complete pack analysis, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you all for watching this episode of MTG Mastery. If you guys are interested in any of the other videos in this series, whether it be lore, draft strategies, pack analysis, or the pack openings themselves, go ahead and click on the annotations now to be taken to playlists with the full list of all uploaded content of that type. Thank you guys all for watching. Rate, comment, and subscribe.